Should we set up a second table so we get room to spread out paperwork and stuff?
When would you feel cramped?
Not at the moment.
I'll be
As
trying
the
to
year goes on.
Right. It's early yet.
Wait till next time, you'll have more paperwork.
Did he turn it on or leave? Is he coming back? I don't know.
No, he's not gonna do
Well, no, I just, at 6 o'clock, I was gonna call the meeting to order, but I didn't wanna diss him on the
Well, you
recording.
know in a minute if it's already started, if he takes off.
I guess we're ready to know that.
Amen.
Do you have it on yet?
Yep, all set.
Oh, you did have it on. Okay, all right.
I thought you would start when I was out, so.
All right, I'm gonna call the meeting to order.
You gonna drink that
I
whole
have
thing?
6:01.
Working on it.
First order of business is minutes from the May 15th meeting. And if you need me to speak up, Maureen, just say so. I feel like I might be a little plugged up, so I might not be as loud as I
Oh,
need to
you're
be.
the same as me,
Yeah.
huh? When swimming in the dirty water.
I'll entertain a motion to accept the minutes.
Wow, I haven't seen it done that like that for a long time.
Second.
No, I was asking if someone else would, please. The chair's not supposed to be making all the motions, but
I'll make a motion to accept.
thank you, Phil.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Ed, are you here? Are you with us?
No,
Deep in thought.
Minutes okay for you? No problem.
yeah,
All right. And the year-to-date budget review. And before we start going through like separate lines, can you share with us what transpired between you and Sarah regarding problems that we have with the transaction detail?
you know,
Okay.
my mind's on that good for so long.
Well, you should have wrote it down. You should have reported back to us right away. No. I mean, I see some improvements, but not everything.
All right, but don't you say so. I had a list, yeah, when I looked last time.
Bad. That's what I see. I'm happy to hand it to you, but I just wondered, is there,
I've addressed the issues that were asked to be addressed. But some of them haven't been, then you need to let me know which ones.
All right.
haven't, and I will readdress them.
do you have specific ones too, Sandy? Or?
Well, I would like to see what you had brought up. I did have a general conversation with Sarah when you asked me to do that.
Okay.
And I asked her about, for example, the deposits and the revolving account
Mhm.
report. And, you know, first of all, I'm not sure that she has that information, but the memo here, it didn't look like there was any way that she could type something in.
Sure.
But it is apparent for the checks. So she said she could not stand.
Okay. Thank you.
It seemed like she had included more detail. You know, I know debit card was one of the issues.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't actually ask her about that, but and I think I noticed somewhere that an entry was misplaced in a
Mhm.
different general ledger category than it should have been, but that may have been an older one.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you were she was pointing to the ambulance revolving account when she started, I'm pretty sure those are all checks that come in.
But we don't know from where, and again, does she even, what does she get technically? Does she get just a deposit receipt?
Oh, it's been a while.
I should ask her that question.
I think she gets them, and then she passes them on to the treasurer, because the treasurer is responsible for that part of it.
Yeah. I feel like the checks will come in either from the billing or from people, individuals who are billed or insurance, and they go into the ambulance, usually they go to the ambulance PO box normally.
Right.
And then I think you're right, Sarah fills out a form and
Right.
passes it all on to the treasurer. Yeah.
So she sees it actually then beforehand,
Yeah,
rather than just receiving a receipt from the treasurer.
yeah. And honestly, knowing that that's what the deposits are for the ambulance revolving account, I'm not terribly concerned about them, more detail in that. If everybody else is, we can certainly go for that, but,
Some of the problems that exist with it is they had to switch over to a new checking account
yes,
because of,
that's right, they got hacked.
they got hacked. And that just barely happened, about a week, maybe 2 weeks ago, the most.
Again?
No, they were able to actually transfer it into the new checking account. They had never transferred it before.
Oh, okay.
What were some of the other things that you had on your list?
So in Selectmen's budget, financial administration, there are still things that we pointed out last time on 112 and 315. It says Dottie Ernst reimbursement. Bold. There are two of those under miscellaneous, which I don't even think was a proper category on the budget, and then one under supplies. There's this, and that's a good chunk of what I see is a lot of inconsistencies that makes it really hard to know exactly where things should be.
I didn't do the selectman's office or the town clerk or tax
No.
collector.
No, but this is something that
It is an ongoing thing, but if I have any here left after 3 years, I'll be lucky.
yeah, good luck with that one. We're gonna start up a farm for aging government elected people who are no longer part of things to come just drink your life away on
Right,
40
exactly.
acres. And
Retirement
just-
farm.
Yeah. Executive, she has miscellaneous and other, debit card, all kinds of debit card things listed there. And I actually made a note here that new line items can't be created throughout the year because we don't know where that should have come from.
Right.
And the voters approved an allocation for something specific. You can't just create new categories. That's my opinion. I'll leave all
She
in the
said we
same
can't do
board.
that because it wasn't funded in the original approved budget.
Oh, so she understands that, but she's doing it. Okay.
Were you looking at dental insurance? Because there
No,
is
she's
No.
looking at like the credit card,
the debit.
the debit card.
Specifically, these notes were from the selectmen's budget, and I think it was the finance category.
Yes,
Let's
well,
look at that.
Yeah. So right on the main page, or the, yeah. But we can go into finance too, if you'd rather go there, but it's in both places, yeah. So page 2 of transaction details, selectmen, I don't even know, I think we go page 1, 2, page 1, 2 over and over. in the detail part.
This one?
Um, supplies, licensed software's at the top,
Not in the wrong place.
January, the same one, right? Yeah, selectmen.
Which is the one.
Well, I could give a note there too, or that's someone else. Okay,
Okay.
nope, so the next page here, wait, yours is
Check
different.
this way.
You going the wrong way, okay.
Okay, which one?
Right. So, there's, at the top of the page, supplies, licenses, software, next is training, and the next one says GG executive other. Other wasn't in the original budget as approved. She created that. See what I'm saying?
So she bought Staples.
Well, yeah, and again, it's I'm assuming the memo is Board of Selectmen debit card, and she purchased something from Staples, but we don't know what that is or where it is, but there is no executive other in the budgets. There's already a miscellaneous line item if she needed to do something that she couldn't find a category for. Am I making sense, Ed? Okay.
So do you want a line item next year for that in particular?
I don't know what it is. I have no idea what it is. What did she buy from Staples for $343
Is
on
there-
March
is there
26th that
line
didn't?
item for credit card?
No,
You
there
want-
should never be a separate line item for credit card
Should
because
Okay.
the credit card is, or debit card actually, is being used for some things. So, when it's being
Don't-
used, it
don't
should
you want
say,
To know that it was done by credit card as opposed to.
I don't know if that matters to us in any way, shape,
Check.
or form, does it?
I think she has done that, like here, for example, general journal entry under supplies and miscellaneous, DC paper, that's a debit card
Right.
for paper. So
Yep.
if she just labeled it that way, that would work out. And then there was the other entry here too.
Yeah, there was a couple. Supplies from
several.
Staples for Sarah. Staples fixed transaction, debit card BOS, what does that mean?
Board of Selectmen.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying, what is,
What did they buy, is
Yeah.
what you're really asking.
yes.
Mhm.
I mean, unless you guys think I'm out of line, but I feel like there's supposed to be checks and balances, and if all it says is, we use our debit card to buy something, what do the taxpayers know about what happened?
No, she got the same.
Yeah. And then, under financial administration, she's got $268.26 under miscellaneous. I think that's the next page, isn't it? No. And this is another thing that makes it so hard. We've got the header page that's got the bolded categories, and then you go through the details, and it's not the same. It's really hard to figure out what's going on.
So where are you? On the financial administration, which one are you looking at?
She's got miscellaneous.
Page.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it again.
The reimbursement of mileage?
Yeah, thank you. Yep.
Miscellaneous here.
Yeah.
What? What page?
There's just a couple pages past where we were. Yeah, financial administration should be right in here. I don't know. Here's postage.
I think you consolidated yours, just selectmen, that's fine.
Well, I just took each category and just crisscrossed them as I went down the pile. There was nothing. Sorry, this is the thing you do for today.
That's okay, just.
Yep, it's gonna come down here now.
Here we go.
Maybe it's right there. And it's really easy to tell when she added something, because if you look at the header page, there's nothing there in what was budgeted, so she just created that line item. So she created another miscellaneous line item, and Dottie Ernst was paid for mileage.
What the mileage was.
We don't know, yeah, and there's two different
I
times.
remember that being included, a discussion about that last year.
I know Dottie Campbell would put in for, mileage, which I wholeheartedly disagreed with, but one person doesn't change the policy. I feel like they already get a $4,000 year stipend. You can pay for the gas to go to Mascoma Cup, once a week, but that's just me. And someday I'll be on a fixed income and eat those words too, so, yeah, but it would fit in somewhere before, it wasn't its own separate miscellaneous.
So what do you want a line item for?
I don't.
Okay.
We already have.
It's just that she's created,
I want fewer line items, I don't want her creating line items in mid-year. Once the budget is set,
Yes.
these are the line
Not in the
items,
middle.
these
But
are
if
right.
If she created one, is there another place where it could go? Then do we need a
it all
line
depends
item?
on the subject of.
Right, right.
But the one that you're talking about, do you need a line item for next year because there is no place in there to put that?
I believe that
That's what I'm asking.
I believe what she is saying is there's already an other, and creating a miscellaneous is like creating the same line with a different word.
Right. Yeah. And honestly, I would have to look and see where that's fallen in the past, because like I said, I know Dottie Campbell, when she was treasurer, also got paid for mileage. I don't think Sue put in for it when she was. But, I would have to look and see where that fell then to say where it ought to be now. I don't know. I think I've taken us off, down the rabbit trail long enough for a little bit, but if somebody else wants it.
Well, your list is pretty lengthy there.
Yeah, it is. Fire department also has similar issues in their budget. 214, there's an entry that says transfer to DC account. And then on 3.5, it says general journal 1877 highway town card under fire department.
Which category is that something you get?
Come back to the fire department. Retwisted here now. I thought I had it all straightened out in order. Okay. 214, 3.5. Seriously, they don't exist anymore. I've lost my mind too.
You don't know what category it was?
No, I'm not even
No.
seeing them again, sorry. Oh, you know what? I was so pressed to try to get through this in such a short period of time. I probably copied that off of the last one we had, and she's
okay.
probably corrected it.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
that's okay.
But, yeah, then I had sanitation, similar things, which may or may not be from this one she might have fixed. Let me see. 117.30 and 430 on sanitation. Yep, those are still there. Yeah, there's sanitation under repairs, supplies, miscellaneous. There's 3 dates that you see that they're blank. Selecting debit card BOS, DC hand sanitizer. Well, I guess that told us what it was, but
I mean, that seems adequate to me, don't you agree? DC hand sanitizer?
yeah, it's adequate to tell us what was purchased. My concern is how extremely inconsistent it is, the entries are. In this line, under the name, it's got the vendor. Who did we purchase something from?
Right.
And these debit card entries are all over the place with, it might be in a memo, it might be nowhere.
So where does she see that? Where does she see the debit card entry?
That I don't know. Debit card didn't exist when I was a selectman.
I mean, they would have to turn in a receipt, right? A receipt necessarily wouldn't.
No, because if they're using the debit card, they're using the debit card, there's no,
The statement at the end of the month will show you that's it, right?
I assume, I don't know, Ed?
Oh, dear.
Exactly.
You would still get a receipt though.
There's gotta be a paper trail.
But it says what company,
Yeah,
It has the, yes, it would have the.
well, that's better than nothing.
Product, not vendor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, like, I mean, like, if you look at like the dumping fees, under name, it says Lebanon City of, because
Yeah.
that's who was paid. And then under memo is dumping fees. There's a couple, under general government building, she's got an innovative entry under electrical, that's
I saw
heating,
that,
that should, you know.
yeah.
I'm happy to sit down with her and go through these line by line, if she's got the time, but I feel like, I mean, a bunch of this stuff came up last time and hasn't been corrected, so what do we do? And not to keep jumping forward and backwards in our agenda, but didn't the auditors have anything to say about that, and or does the DRA have something to say about it?
we have nothing to report from the auditors yet.
Yeah, usually like September, October,
Yeah,
yeah. They didn't mention anything when you were in, or if they did, you wouldn't know.
no, they were cost of, this year.
Okay.
Usually they ask for things that they want beforehand, and that was not the case, and then they were trying to train new people, and
Yeah.
say it, don't keep it in.
I feel like this is something I'm irritated with, and by my irritation, I'm irritating others that could care less whether it's exactly right or not. And I don't wanna make it a problem if it doesn't need.
Nobody knows if it isn't a problem if you don't say so.
Well, I think it's important to know where companies get this from. Right. And if there's not sufficient detail to make that determination, then yes, I would agree. that, You know, I don't know, being inconsistent is what? Trying to rush through something, being careless, I don't know. So more focus and attention possibly is needed.
I see what you're saying. The debit card has no accountability to it.
Right.
And it's consistent across the board.
Consistently. Inconsistent.
Consistently consistent.
Yeah.
That's why I did what I did, that's why I spent all that time, so that you guys could follow and see month by month what was spent out of that account. And I was trying to make.
Out of a debit card account?
No, in
Line
general,
items.
in general.
Oh, yeah, absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. And if it were being used as you had designed it to be used, it would be fantastic.
Oh, I didn't realize it wasn't.
Yeah. Well, like Phil just mentioned, you know, it's like there's no accountability for that debit card. It gets pulled out and used, and it gets put somewhere in somebody's budget without knowing if it's right or wrong. And I wouldn't make as big a deal out of it as I am, except last year at the budget hearing, that was just atrocious. When it was revealed that they had purchased, what did they buy? Some big huge piece of equipment or something? They replaced the CV and took money out of a bunch of different places, rather than showing it exactly what it was for what happened. I was that close to taking that to the DRA and saying, somebody needs to slap somebody on the wrist for this.
Was it the highway department you're talking about? Where at the end, when they bought something, they'd take a little money out of here, a little money out of there.
Something like that.
Highway, it was the highway, that was one thing I remember.
Yeah.
Which brings me to a question. We have a new grader, right? Yes,
It was
A
free,
new used grader.
a new used grader.
it was free.
No, it wasn't.
No, it wasn't, Maureen.
Nothing's free.
So where did the money come from that?
And capital reserve.
It came out of the capital reserve account?
First two months, the rental, which was part of
Yeah.
Purchase.
came out of the capital reserve.
Highway department equipment.
So does that leave in the capital reserve?
Market value is 172.
Which, by the way, this isn't what we needed, this MS9. This is just for the month of June. We needed year to date. It gives us today's numbers, but it doesn't,
You're absolutely
yeah,
right.
when, if you're trying to look at like what we're earning or whatever,
Yeah.
and you know that. So how much was taken out of that?
So, I did ask her about the MSA. And she said this was all she got.
Oh, I'm not sure what an MSA is.
That's what you're talking about, I think, right?
Oh,
Well, because usually what we would get as a trustee of the trust funds was the MSA and so,
every month from Three Berries?
Yeah.
Okay, I guess I didn't realize that the year-to-date had a different form number than the monthly. Okay. Well, so
So she said
then
she
I
just-
apologize, and that was my bad for asking for the wrong
Well,
thing.
I will get it from the trustee of the trust funds because they get both of those.
And this is also something that we could get emailed to us. It's a PDF.
Well, that
Okay.
brings me to another question. I'm kind of jumping ahead
You
here.
are. Can we get an answer from Ed first real quick about your last question? So that, did you completely empty the highway department capital reserve?
No, and that's, what I'm thinking is the 100,000 that was voted on in March doesn't seem to be shown on here.
Is being added?
Yeah.